the viewers a summary, a synopsis of that first book.
Yeah, so the first book was essentially a science fiction dystopia. It takes place in the future. The world is in a terrible space because we got these monsters, well, alien monsters invading Earth. And because we're having this population problem. And the monsters were sent to Earth to control the population. So they were coming in like just killing humans and all this to like minimize it. And we were almost getting to a point where it could lead to some type of extinction. Now, my main character, Caronitis, was the only person in the world who had the abilities to stop them. So he was standing up against that. But because he was going against what other people, like the higher ups, thought was right, the people who were sending these monsters, he was arrested and pretty much put through these trials that he had to survive throughout the book. That's why it's called Scars of Caronitis. Because as he was going through these trials, he was developing these scars and, you know, developing these mental and physical and spiritual scars as well. And he survived it. He came out on top, obviously, not to spoil it, but it's a story about perseverance. It's a story about never giving up. It's a story about overcoming monsters, not just physical monsters, but your personal ones. A monster could be like a friend you can't trust. A monster could be your environment. You know, a monster could be depression. It could be anxiety. But we can't let these things stop us. They might hurt us, but we can't. We got to keep going, like Caronitis did in the book.
Because I remember the first time I seen the cover. It was because I think I'm a grade higher than you. We was in the same class, but I'm a grade higher than you. And you know how a lot of people say, "Oh, that person is going to be great."
Man,
I felt that early when I seen you write a book because I understand how difficult it is first to put words to paper, then to follow through with illustration, and then releasing it, and then you got to show up to guest appearances and, you know, sign things and stuff and meet people. So the question I had with that is, you followed up with a second book.
Yeah.
Muse, and I forget what's after the colons.
Yeah, Muse, A World Without Chains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give us the inspiration behind that to make you follow up with the second book.
So I wanted to follow up with a second book immediately because I'm not going to lie. Like, in all honesty, I wasn't the proudest of my first book when I put it out. I felt like I had rushed it. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I could have did a way better job. So I wanted to put one out immediately, and I wanted to be more mature. I wanted to show that I was a better writer. I wanted to show that I had learned more. I was smarter. And I just wanted to like attack a concept that was important to me, which is art. Because muse, the word itself means artistic inspiration. Anything could be a muse as long as it inspires you. And so I wanted to write a book about art and the creative process. And that was kind of like how I got into that mindset for that book.
Okay. And you wrote that book. How much time after the first one?
That came out, I think, right under like maybe 2 years, 1 or 2 years around the time.
So you wrote it 8th grade, the first one. Then the second one, you released it sophomore year?
Yeah, sophomore year.
Man, that's more accomplished than most adults. Seriously.
Yeah, thank you.
How long in duration, how long did it take you to write both books?
About the same. So like it would take me around a year to write them. And then the publishing process would be like a couple of months, like the whole process of, you know, getting it like edited and things like that. But that's something I feel like when I do it again, it might take longer. Maybe it might take a year of editing and stuff like that. Maybe it might take me years to write a new book, you know, because I feel like I always try to do things as quickly as I can and all that. And I try to be efficient and all that, but it can change. You know, the creative process is kind of unpredictable. It could take longer, it could take shorter.
And you was 14 doing this?
Yeah.
So like you was going to school and then like coming home and writing books?
Yeah, and still valedictorian and stuff like that. So like,
What high school?
well, I wasn't valedictorian in high school.
Oh, okay.
But I went to St. Ignatius for high school.
Okay. Man, that's a good school, St. Ignatius. Yeah. That's a good school.
Man, 14.
That's crazy.
I was doing at 14.
Man, I wasn't thinking about any books.
I was trying to rap and watching wrestling or something like that.
Yeah.
Damn, 14 years old. All right, so I gotta ask, what's some of your all-time favorite films?
Yeah, so like number one, and this is a movie I just saw for the first time, maybe a few weeks ago, is City of God. And that's one of those movies everybody said like, oh, you got to watch it before you die because it's so influential. And it came out sometime in the early 2000s, and it's pretty much about the underground like crime world of Brazil in the 80s. And it's like this big, almost like 3-hour epic movie of these like interlocking characters as they navigate this terrible environment they living in. And I feel like coming from like the West Side of Chicago, wherever you may be from, you can see a bit of where you grew up in that, even though they speak a whole different language, it's a whole different country. And I just thought it felt so like real and gritty. They didn't even like use real actors for the movie. They used like civilians. So that's like number one. Donnie Darko, which is kind of like a...
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I've never seen Donnie Darko. What's Donnie Darko?
So that's essentially like a supernatural thriller about the main character, Donnie, who is having mental health issues. But at the same time, he starts seeing this rabbit, this like giant 6-foot bunny rabbit.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Very cryptic.
And the rabbit keeps telling him all these cryptic messages, like the world is going to end on this day. And if you want to stop it, you got to do this, that, and this. So the rabbit starts directing him to do these crazy things throughout the movie and all that. And we don't even know by the end of it. We still debating what happened. And the movie came out 20 years ago.